Yo, Drizzy Dispatch fam, what is up? We're diving headfirst into the biggest sports headlines that have everyone talking. Get ready for a rapid-fire rundown that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. We've got breaking news on fantasy football injuries, including updates on Xavier Worthy and Drake London. Plus, we're breaking down the latest in fantasy baseball with Juan Soto hitting a major milestone and Drake Baldwin's defensive game. We're also getting the inside scoop on more NFL injury updates impacting the 49ers, and of course, that controversial take from Rob Gronkowski about Drake Maye. You do not want to miss this. Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss a single play. Week 2 Fantasy Football Injury Report, Xavier Worthy and Drake London updates. Are you ready for the crucial Week 2 Fantasy Football Injury updates? Staying ahead of player availability is absolutely vital, and we've got the lowdown on some key names. With football being the physical game it is, injuries are inevitable, and even a seemingly minor ailment can significantly impact a player's performance. That's why keeping a close eye on who's healthy and who's not is paramount for all fantasy managers. We're spotlighting Xavier Worthy, who dislocated his shoulder after a collision with Travis Kelce. While he's avoiding surgery for now, he'll need rehab and is expected to miss at least one game, giving Hollywood Brown a potential boost. On the other side of the field, Drake London is reportedly set to play in Week 2 after a recent report indicated he would be active, which is massive news for his fantasy managers. Darnell Mooney also practiced alongside London and is expected to debut, giving the Falcons' offense a needed lift. Jauan Jennings' shoulder scans came back clean, making his Week 2 return likely, while Jaden Reed, despite recovering from a Jones fracture, will play Week 2 without limitations. Meanwhile, George Kittle is a significant blow, heading to IR for at least 4 games, which boosts Christian McCaffrey and Ricky Pearsall. Brock Bowers' knee injury from Week 1 appears minor, and he's expected to play, though he's being managed. Isaiah Likely's ankle injury continues to keep him from practice, making his Week 2 debut unlikely, and Dallas Goedert's knee sprain's status remains uncertain. Fans are buzzing about these injury updates, especially the potential impact on fantasy lineups. Analysts are weighing in on the ripple effects, with many pointing to the increased value of backup players and the strategic decisions fantasy managers must make. Don't go anywhere, because the fantasy baseball world is heating up with some incredible news. Next, we're diving into the stolen base game and a major milestone hit by Juan Soto. Fantasy Baseball Steals report Juan Soto's 30-30 milestone and Drake Baldwin's struggles. As stolen bases continue to surge across the league, we're bringing you the essential trends to boost your fantasy teams. Stealing a base is a complex dance involving the runner, the pitcher, and the catcher, so knowing which matchups favor aggression is key. This week, the spotlight is on Juan Soto, who has officially crossed the coveted 30-30 threshold. That's 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases, becoming the first player in the league to achieve this incredible feat this season. Meanwhile, we're tracking other notable players like Royce Lewis, whose base-stealing activity suggests he's feeling healthy, and Luke Keeschall, who seems poised to accelerate his base-stealing efforts. On the flip side, we're watching Jose Caballero's increased starting opportunities as Anthony Volpe's performance dips, and assessing players like Lawrence Butler and Kyle Tucker, who could increase their stolen base production. The trend analysis highlights the Marlins as a prime target for stolen bases, thanks to their struggling catching tandem and Sandy Alcantara's struggles holding runners. The Braves, with catcher Drake Baldwin's low caught-stealing rate, also present opportunities, especially with the Nationals, who are aggressive on the base paths, coming up on the schedule. But the football injury news isn't over yet, and some major teams are still dealing with key players on the mend. Stay tuned as we break down the latest on the 49ers injury situation. Fantasy Football Injury Report Week 2, 49ers in flux and more updates. Injuries are the silent assassins of fantasy seasons, making staying informed absolutely critical. We're compiling all the essential fantasy-relevant news right here to keep you ahead of the game throughout the regular season. This week, the San Francisco 49ers are facing a significant injury crisis. George Kittle has been placed on injured reserve, sidelining him for at least 4 games, which is a massive blow. Brock Purdy is dealing with left shoulder and toe injuries, but appears on track to start Week 2, though his status is worth monitoring closely. Mac Jones would step in if Purdy is unavailable. John Jennings is listed as day-to-day with a shoulder injury, but is expected to play. The team's injury situation significantly impacts Christian McCaffrey and Ricky Pearsall, who are considered must-starts regardless. We also have updates on other key players. Jalen Waddle returned to his Week 1 game despite a shoulder injury, suggesting he'll be active. Stefon Diggs is slowly ramping up his activity after a torn ACL, and fantasy managers should exercise patience. In Houston, Joe Mixon is on IR for at least 4 weeks, with Nick Chubb handling a significant workload but not being a true workhorse. The Jaguars traded RB Tank Bigsby, solidifying Travis Etienne's lead-back role. Eno Benjamin remains on IR with an ankle injury, leaving Tony Pollard with a massive workload for the Titans. The Chiefs' Xavier Worthy dislocated his shoulder and is attempting to play through it, a risky move given the potential for aggravation. Brock Bowers suffered a knee injury but is considered day-to-day, though his status is a bit murky. Dallas Goedert has a knee sprain, and his status is uncertain. Lastly, Drake London appears to have avoided a major injury with a shoulder sprain and is considered day-to-day, with his fantasy managers breathing a sigh of relief. The fantasy community is dissecting these injury reports, debating the impact on team performance and individual player values. Analysts are providing guidance on waiver wire targets and trade strategies. But it's not just player health that's making headlines. Legendary players are also weighing in on current team performance. Get ready for a fiery take from Rob Gronkowski on a certain young quarterback. Rob Gronkowski takes aim at timid Drake Maye after Patriots' Week 1 struggles. New England Patriots legend Rob Gronkowski isn't holding back his thoughts on Drake Maye's Week 1 performance, and he's not happy. Maye, entering his first year as the full-time starting quarterback, was surrounded by significant hype. However, his Week 1 outing against the Las Vegas Raiders was a tough one. He completed 30 of 46 passes for 287 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, in a game the Patriots ultimately lost 2013 at home. Gronkowski, speaking on Up and Adams, expressed his disappointment, stating the Patriots came out flat and that Maye, despite a decent game, didn't show the expected leap from his rookie year. Gronk described Maye as looking a little timid and believes the offense desperately needs chunk plays that Maye wasn't consistently delivering. Adding to the offensive struggles, Gronkowski also pointed to a lack of true red zone threats on the Patriots roster, making it difficult for Maye and the offense to find the end zone. He emphasized the need for creative play calling to get receivers open. The Patriots and Maye will look to rebound in Week 2 on the road against the Miami Dolphins. Fans and analysts are debating Gronk's assessment, with some agreeing that Maye needs to show more aggression, while others defend the young quarterback, citing the overall struggles of the Patriots' offense and receiving core. The pressure is certainly on for Maye to prove his doubters wrong in the coming weeks. And that's a wrap on today's top stories. But before you go, stick around for our lightning round recap and the full call to action. All right, Drizzy Dispatch crew, let's do a quick lightning round recap. We've got the latest on crucial fantasy football injuries impacting stars like Xavier Worthy and Drake London, plus a deep dive into fantasy baseball, where Juan Soto hit a massive 30-30 milestone and Drake Baldwin's defensive struggles were highlighted. We also broke down the latest NFL injury updates, especially concerning the 49ers, and heard from Rob Gronkowski with his fiery take on Drake Maye's timid play. Don't forget to smash that like button if you got value from this video, subscribe to Drizzy Dispatch for all your sports news needs, and ring that notification bell so you're always in the loop. Also, drop a comment below with your thoughts on these stories, and make sure to follow us on all our social media channels for even more exclusive content. We'll catch you on the next one.